Look at this weeding. Action fire weeding, y'all. So good.
It's
so
all
good.
it's all in this one. I would suggest cutting in the middle of a scallop.
Yay.
Pet silhouette on these would be phenomenal.
Yes. It looks perfect.
If you want to create a bow, you can, or you can leave it as is.
I love this ribbon.
I kind of like it as is, just hanging down. Go to the. Can we see how cute this is? Let's go overhead and show them. First of all, this does not even look like it was made. This looks like it was bought somewhere. It is double-sided. This is and honestly, you could make these as an ornament set. You do not have to do this double-sided, but look at this project. Now, we are stepping it up a little bit. Sorry to make you guys jump if I scared you. But we are stepping our crafting up just a little bit. We started you out easy. This one's gonna be a little bit more, a few more steps. I don't wanna say any more complicated because I don't think it's any more complicated than any of our other projects, but y'all, how stinking cute is this? So let's go over all of the supplies that you are going to need for this project. At the base of this, we have these clear glass ornaments. These came from Hobby Lobby. These are the oval ones you can see here. They're not completely round. These are the oval ones. This is what we are starting out with. So you are going to need some type of ornament. You don't have to have glass for this. Let me be clear. You do not have to have glass. We just decided we had these already. So we just decided to use these, but we did like this oval shape, kind of like the flatter oval shape here. So this is going to be the base of our ornament. You can also see that there is a difference in the top, right? Because these are silver, this one is gold. That is because we painted them. So you can use spray paint, gold spray paint if you want to paint these, or you can use this liquid leaf, which is what we use. Let me show you guys a little bit closer. This right here is what we use to paint the tops of these ornaments. I will pull it up so you can see a good close-up. They really do look so good. And that liquid leaf does something to those tops. It just looks phenomenal in my opinion. So you can paint them with spray paint if you have it. If not, you can paint them whatever color you want. But if you want to get the exact same look we got, this is what we used, which was the liquid leaf that you can also get from Hobby Lobby. And it is linked in the supply list. Other than that, you are going to need some type of acrylic paint. Now this is going to be, you can choose what color you want your ornament to be. We are using white, but this is going to be the difference in the glitter ornament, how we kind of are going away from the glitter ornament, and that's by using acrylic paint inside the ornaments. I mean, being able to make these ornaments whatever color you want and make them look so flawless, this is the secret, okay? This is a secret. So we are using, this is just the, I can't even read that brand. We love the deco art as well. Here's another thing. This is more of a gray color. We are going to use the white, but just grab you some acrylic paint, whatever color you want.
I would say this is really good not to use multi-surface because we need a little thinner acrylic paint.
Yes.
So if you have multi-surface, try to stick with a more basic, thinner acrylic paint and you'll be golden.
Yes. So you will need some type of acrylic paint. And then obviously we're using scraps for this one. We have some regular adhesive vinyl. This is just a navy, a dark navy color. And then the other thing that we have is our ribbon that we are going to make our bow out of. So other than that, those are all of the supplies that you are going to need for this project. Now, if you haven't gotten the files, you can go ahead and download those. Sadie is dropping that link for you. If you are on the watch page, you can also find them here where it says download cut files. Here is the watch page. We dropped that link as well for you all. It's going to be further on up in the chat. But you can find your cut files underneath the watch page. You can also find the supply list, and you can join the Facebook group from there as well. So after you have downloaded the files, whether it's from the link in the YouTube chat or from the watch page, you are going to open up that folder, and this is what it's going to look like. So you can do it, let's show it as an icon so you all can see it for larger. We have the baby ornament, the countdown spinner, faux leather tags, and the pennant flag. We've already done the faux leather. So now we're going over here to the baby ornament. You are going to double click that, and then we are going to install this font. How we are going to do that, we are going to double click that font. Now, if you are on a PC, you may have to right click and extract the font before you can upload it, but you are going to double click or extract that font. And then from there, it says that we have it installed. So I cannot install it, but you are gonna click this install button, and then it should install on your computer. Now, you already have the SVG. You don't have to do anything to it. We just need to upload it into Design Space. So once you are here, I'm gonna double check because it did tell me that we did not have that font, and it was Empire. Yes. So I'm going to double check that it is in here, because if it's not, it is beautiful. If you already have Design Space opened up and you upload the font, make sure you save. First of all, come over here and click on this save if you are working on something. So I'm just going to go ahead and save this so you can see. Once you download a font, if you already have Cricut Design Space open, it is not going to recognize that font until you reload Design Space. So what you need to do is, once you have downloaded the font, we need to come up here to view, and you need to hit that reload button. What that is going to do is that is going to relaunch Cricut Design Space, and that is now going to, see, it is telling me that it's not on there, but it is, so it's fine. Anyway, that is going to reload Design Space, and that is going to recognize all of the new fonts that you are going to be working with. So we have our font downloaded. We have it here. The other thing that I like to do, I like to get all of my files in one place before I start designing. So I'm going to come back over here to the left-hand toolbar. I'm going to come down here to where it says upload. I'm going to go to upload image. From there, your upload page is going to come up. I love to bring my Finder back into view like this. Here is the ornament embellishment file that you need. We are going to click that, and we're just going to drag and drop that down there until that turns green. And look how stinking cute. So many things that you can do with this SVG other than just an ornament. This style is so trendy right now. And I just think it looks so timeless. But you're just going to go through, you're going to upload all of that. Now, it does come in a little larger than what we need it to be, but don't worry, we are going to resize here in just a second. But sometimes I like keeping it large so that I can see it, and then we will measure our area to put it on there. So now that we have all of our files in Design Space, before we continue the designing process, there is a step that we need to go back overhead, and we need to do so that it can start drying while we design and cut. So we need to go ahead and add our paint if you haven't already. So anything we do on the outside, it's not really going to affect anything. So you do need to go ahead and get your ornament if you don't have it already. If you are working along with me, we're going to grab our ornament, and we're just going to put our acrylic paint down in the ornament. Now, you don't need a ton, and part of me wants to say that you could water this down some, but then another part of me is like, no, don't, because we want this color to be so solid inside this ornament. You are going to need quite a bit of paint. So you can see we've got a lot of paint in there. And what we're going to do is we're just going to be rolling this around, and we're going to cover every surface we can with this paint. So I'm just gonna roll this around.
While you're doing that. And look, Lauren, that was so fast.
I know. Now it does take a little bit of, you do have to use quite a bit of paint for this. I feel like I've done pretty good with the, and also get a plate. Get a plate so that you, or a cup, so that you can kind of, after you've got, you see all of this is covered, it's starting to come out the top. What I would do is turn it upside down on either a plate or in a cup. We just didn't have any plastic cups for me to put it down on, but look, it's already done. Now all we have to do is let it dry.
Amazing.
And honestly, I didn't really mean to, guys, but somehow it ended up, I used a pretty good amount and don't have a lot of leftover paint. So now that we have done that and our ornament is covered, I can still put whatever I want on the outside of this while the paint in there is dry. Or drying, wet, whatever. So if you did not pre-prep your ornament, go ahead and get that paint in there and get that kind of worked around, and then we can set it off to the side and let it dry just a little bit more. So I'm gonna set this to the side and we're gonna go back to Design Space and we're gonna start the actual design process. Now that we have our ornament prepped, we're gonna start the design process. Now, I don't know if you all noticed, go back overhead. On one side of the ornament, we do have this cutie patootie little silhouette. And I'm sure you're wondering, Lauren, how did you get that silhouette? How did you do that? Oh my goodness. Well, I'm going to teach you exactly how to do this within Cricut Design Space. Now, it is a little bit more work doing it in Cricut Design Space, but I wanted to make sure we all really truly know and understand everything that you can do within Design Space. So, if you are wanting to create this ornament with a silhouette, go back to number 1. What you need to do, whoever you are creating this ornament for, try to get a picture of them from the side in front of a solid color background. Whether that be a white wall, just a solid wall, but you want it from the side, and even more so, have them pull, if they have long hair, have them pull their hair back and get a, obviously you do not need them wearing a turtleneck. So forget that I have on a turtleneck. Have them turn to the side and get a good clear image of just the side profile. That is really going to help you when it comes to putting it in Design Space and getting that silhouette. It's hard to work with a photo, just a random photo of somebody from the side, because a lot of times you have a lot of things going on in the background. It's hard to differentiate what is there, what is not. So let's go ahead and go back to our share screen, and I'm going to show you how you can create this silhouette effect in Design Space. So once again, we're going to come over here to our uploads. We're going to upload an image, and I'm going to bring in an image of sweet little Carson. So let me come over here to our downloads. Where did that save? Let's try this. I bet it's not, because it's an HEIC. But I did, okay, it's working. Beautiful. Automatic background remover cannot be applied to HEIC files. So this was taken on an iPhone. Let me show you, if you want to change it, how you can change it. I thought that I had, and it was here, but if you will open up, if you're working with an HEIC, which is an iPhone photo, if you open it up in Previewer, come over here to File, come down to Export, and then you can change it to a PNG here with the format. It's an HEIC, or you can change it to a PNG. It's because I put it in the documents. Beautiful. And then from there, you're going to click Save. And you can also, just so you know, let's go back here to Export. You can also change where it goes. So right now it's going to our documents. You can pick where you want it to go. But once you have done that, let's come back here. Let's go to Cancel. We're going to go back to Upload, Upload Image. Now that I know where that file is living in my documents right here, I can drag and drop that PNG. And it's a lot easier to work with a PNG than it is an HEIC in Design Space, just so you all are aware. Now, If you have Cricut access, you can automatically remove the background. If you do not, let me show you how to do that. So I'm gonna work with this like everyone in the room does not have Cricut access. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to, if it is on a solid background, you can click the select button and you can see there, I just selected that color. This one is not on a solid background. This is what we don't want to do, but if this is, I wanted to make sure that I showed you, even if it's the hardest, you know exactly how to do it. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm gonna bring this all the way up to the top, which is 100, and I'm literally gonna start erasing all of this. Although it's not erasing the edges, but that's okay. So we're gonna erase everything around Carson and get rid of all of this that we no longer need. Now, this is going to take you a minute to complete. Just be patient.
Another option I just want to throw out there just for the group, feel free to crop the image first. Just if you want to save this erasing time, but either way, this is a very crucial step.
Yeah,
and
maybe
if you want
I
to zoom in, you can just click down at the bottom and zoom in just for everyone.
Yeah, I'm going to here in just a second. I'm just getting rid of all of this on the outside first, and then we're going to zoom in.
You may actually still want to crop so it gets those edges clean.
I know.
If you crop it, it'll go away.
Huh. Oh, right here.
Yeah, you found it.
Okay, so here's where we're going to crop it to get those edges to go away here. Now, it's still showing, but it's okay. So we did crop it. To crop it up here, you're gonna get this little square with the line through it. That's how you can crop it to where it's a lot smaller. So now what I'm going to do is we're going to apply and continue, but I wanna go back. There we go, we gotta go back here. There we go. I need to still erase. So what I'm doing now is I'm gonna come in here and I'm just erasing along the edge like this. Now, once again, you have to kind of be steady with this. And this is gonna be easier. I'm trying to not talk while I do this. Now, here is one thing that you may have to do. If for some reason, look how this lip ended up not being really rounded that I liked. I'm gonna restore that because I can preview that single layer.
Ooh, hack.
I love previewing that single layer so that I know what I need to work with. And now I'm gonna come back over here to erase and I'm gonna bring that brush size down just a little bit more. And I'm just gonna carve out around here like this. And
Carson is the chef, Jan, yes.
See, I accidentally right here cut off part of his chin too. And now we're gonna go back to erase and we're up. Just one little dot right there.
Well, love it.
Now, this, and then there's just a few more things that I have to erase and then we will be good. Let me bring this brush size up just a little bit. Let's erase this over here. Looks like there's something over here that we missed. But that is one thing that I love is previewing that single layer because that's what we're gonna be adding this to our, rounding that out there. We're gonna be adding this to our canvas as a single layer. So now I can zoom back out. I can preview that single layer and look at there.
Beautiful.
It takes a little bit more work than just for you all to do this in Design Space. It does take just a little bit more work, but y'all, it is worth it. This is a software that you know, that you love, that you're comfortable with, so why not use it if you can create stuff like this in there? So now we're just gonna hit apply and continue. We want this as a single layer. We are choosing single layer for this. Make sure you do that. We want a solid color. So from there, we're gonna go to continue, and then we are gonna upload that to our canvas. Now, it's gonna come in huge. Don't worry. What we are going to do is we're just gonna size this down. We'll just size it down to around a 3-inch. Obviously, it needs to be just a little bit smaller, but now all we have to do is start putting in our letters, our silhouette, and our name. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna bring a text box in, which I already did here. Now I'm going to put the letter. This is gonna be determined by you. Do you wanna do the last name letter? Do you wanna do the first name letter? Are you just going to do a monogram ornament with the letter, no silhouette? What I think would be super cute is if you had multiple of these ornaments. So we'll go back to one. If you had a collection of ornaments, so let's say we had Carson, all of the kids on one side, but then made 2 or 3 of the ornaments with like the last name of the family here. So stinking cute. So we'll go back to our share screen. So for this one, we'll just do Carson. So we're gonna do a C here. We're gonna make it larger. Like this. Actually, if you're doing the name on the silhouette side, I guess I would do the last name or as the monogram side. So let's do this instead.
Yes.
I like this.
Yeah.
Then from there, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna duplicate that. I'm gonna bring this down here and we're gonna type out Carson, size it down, place it under the silhouette like that. Then I'm also gonna duplicate this because we have 2025 on either side of the monogram, so we can size that down. So I've got 20 here, duplicate here, and we'll do 5. Now, one thing you can do to get these all lined up. Odd, okay. So we are going to, I'm gonna actually move this down to the back and then we'll have to ungroup these here in a minute. But I'm going to select the 25, the 20, and the B. I've done that from my layers panel over here on the right. From there, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go to align and I'm going to center these vertically, just like that. Move it.
Lauren, this looks so good.
I know. Now, from there, we did not ungroup our ornaments, so our ornaments do come in as groups. One thing we need to do is make sure we come up here and we need to ungroup them, and now you can see that they are 2 separate layers, but we have everything up here. Somewhat, it's not sized accordingly, and I'm gonna hide those other 2 so that we can work. So let's go back overhead. And what we need to do is we need to get the size of our ornament here. And actually, I'm just gonna bring in the one that we painted. No, I'm not. I'm gonna use this one because that's the right one for the top there. They are a little bit different. What you need to do is...
Wait, for everyone in the room, I just wanna give y'all a little word of encouragement. This is what we call measure twice.
Yes.
Cut once.
Measure
if anyone's
twice.
new around here, this is like the most iconic thing I could tell you. I have so many mannerisms, but we measure twice, we cut once.
Mine is gonna be measure twice, cuss once. Because if I don't measure, I will end up cussing. So, you know, we've got 4 inches across that we can work with, but we want our design to be smaller than 4 inches. So what we're gonna do, back over in Design Space, we are going to select everything. You can tell that we have selected everything because everything over here on our layers panel is green. So you can do this all at once, or you can do this individually. Since we ungrouped them, let's do it individually so we know we have the exact measurement. So here we have 6.4 by 6.4. So what we're gonna do is we are gonna measure this to about, let's do 3 inches. I think that's what we did before. So let me double check this really quickly. Let's bring this over. Look at that, right at 3 inches. So you want your design, if you are using these exact same ornaments, You want your designs to be about 3 inches. So we're going to select all of this as well. We're going to size it down to 3 inches. And honestly, I should have gone ahead and attached them before. I did not. So while this one is selected, what we need to do is we need to come down here to the bottom and we need to click that attach button, because we want the Cricut to cut everything exactly where it's at and we don't want it to leave anything off. So once again, we're selecting all, coming down here to attach, and that's it. We are ready to cut our vinyl and we are ready to put it on our ornament. So we're gonna go over to make. That is new.
Yeah, it was there for my class.
Oh, okay. We're gonna do it on a 12 by 12. Now, I am going to move these around, and actually, this is going to be, let me cut this one off so that I can show you if you want to use multiple colors. Here is how you're gonna do this. Now, we are using the same color, how you can cut multiple colors on the same mat. So let me show you how, but we're just using the same color. What you're gonna do is whatever color you are starting with, you're gonna put up here in the top corner, but make sure that you go back to your share screen and you are going to put whatever color you are making. Let's say you're making this one red and this one blue. The blue one, wherever you put that color, will go here. And then you would just take a second color. So go back to our share screen, or our overhead, sorry. And then you're gonna put your second color down here in the bottom corner. So that is how you can do 2 separate colors. It has to be the same material. You can't do 2 separate materials on a mat, but you can do 2 separate colors on one mat. You're just going to separate them out, but make sure when you are on your cut screen or your share screen that you put the right ones in the right corners. So that's how you're gonna do that. Once again, we're doing it on the same color, but it's the same concept. We are doing this with, why is that not, also, I don't like that you can't.
Press enter.
Yeah. So we're going to do this on, where is just our regular vinyl cut setting? Holographic, glitter, dry erase, adhesive foil. We're just gonna go with premium vinyl.
Under, yeah. Oh, you could do
permanent glossy.
Permanent. Yep.
We'll do permanent glossy. And actually, while I'm here, I'm just gonna favorite the removable mat and the permanent glossy. I don't know why it's not on our favorites. Now, all we have to do is come over here to our Cricut. We are going to load this mat in. Now, because I used a new mat, I did not have to really bray or burnish my vinyl down. It's pretty much there for me because it's a new mat. If not, y'all, if y'all don't have a Cricut brayer,
the best.
Hands down, one of my most underrated Cricut tools, in my opinion. Now, we do already have a couple that are cut out and weeded for us because this is quite the feat when it comes to weeding. So we may go ahead and use this C for Carson on one side. And then you do his silhouette on the other because this other one doesn't have a silhouette. So let's start the process of learning how to put vinyl on a curved surface because it can be a little daunting. Like, thankfully, this one specifically is not super curved. So like a round one, it's not too hard. I'm trying to find an actual burnishing tool. There it is. Right here is another little hack. If you did not know, you can grab a burnishing tool that will help keep your ornament or a rounded surface steady. I love using a burnishing tool underneath that. So, transfer tape.
I'll get you some.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not in our box. We're gonna grab some transfer tape and then we will start the process of putting our vinyl down on here. So I didn't talk about our transfer tape in our materials that you're gonna need, but you are gonna need transfer tape. We love using the Caesar. You grab whatever transfer tape you like. Caesar is not Tanner's favorite.
It's just not my favorite. Yeah, it's not my favorite. I think I prefer Cricut transfer tape over, but for this project, I do really like the Caesar.
Okay, so what I just did is I used the taco method, and I will show you all how to do that on this other one as well. But I did the taco method, putting my transfer tape down. I am gonna burnish it because there are a lot of smaller pieces. Another little thing is burnishing from the back also helps, and turning my design over and letting gravity take, you see I did lose a couple pieces. Letting gravity do its job and keeping it down on the transfer tape. I'm still losing pieces for some reason. There we go. And going slow and steady to make sure we don't lose anything. We've got a little dot over here. Don't want to lose him. Another guy's trying to come up right there. Got it. And there we go. So we have this side already done. So now what I'm going to do is once again, sorry, let me get my head out of the way. Taco method. I like getting that center piece down first. Okay, let's make sure it's straight. I like getting it lined up here. I may have to hold it. Then taco method here. Now, when it comes to a rounded surface, I like getting my center, making sure this is down first, and then I'm going to work my way out, okay? Now, it is going to ripple. Do you all see where it's rippling right here? I have a hack for that. Just hear me out. So we are going to place all of this down as best as we can.
We do love to clean the surface with rubbing alcohol. That
yes,
does help.
I will clean the other side.
Yeah, no worries.
So we're just getting that down. And if you are having issues, grab some scissors, and we're gonna cut our transfer tape here around the edges so that we can get it to lay flat. That's one of the hacks, is cutting your transfer tape so that we can lay these flat. Do y'all see how now I can pull this transfer tape down and lay that edge flat, and then pull this up here, lay this flat, pull this over this way, lay it flat. Now, there are gonna be places where it is going to want to ripple and come up, but once again, I'm gonna show you how we're gonna alleviate that here in just a second. So we're cutting our transfer tape, we're working our way around here, making sure all of these edges get stuck down onto the surface. Now, my edges are not all the way stuck down. That's perfectly fine with me, because I want to show you what I like to do with these rounded corners anyway. If you have an X-Acto or a True Control knife, go ahead and get it out, because it is hands down my favorite thing to use with rounded surfaces and designs like this. So
amazing.
I'm just being really careful, but you can see that there are still pieces that are not stuck down. That's perfectly fine. Here is where the trick comes in. What I like to do is I like to pretty much get everything laid down where I want it. And then when I see a ripple like this, I'm just gonna come in with a True Control knife, make this tiniest little sliver of a cut and overlap it.
Love.
So right here, here's another one. Right here, we're gonna make the tiniest little sliver of a cut. Then I'm going to pick up that other side like that. Do y'all see where I picked that up? and I'm just going to lay that flat where it connects. Now you can't even see that I cut that.
Love.
Same thing with this little guy right here. There was a bump there. It wasn't looking good. Cutting that, laying it flat.
Beautiful.
Okay. Same thing. We're going to cut this guy, working our way around, and we're just laying that flat.
So good.
And it really is that simple, guys.
Woohoo.
That's how you get a flawless result on a curved surface. The devil is in the details, truly. That is one of my things that I like to live by. The devil's in the details, because that is where people are either going to be like, oh my goodness, that looks so good, where did you buy it? Or, oh my goodness, that's handmade, you know?
There's a different energy in each of those.
There is so much of a different energy in each of those.
We love it.
So once again, I'm being particular at this point. You don't have to be as particular as me, but like I said, if you want people to be like, oh my gosh, that is so good, where'd you buy it? You need to be just as particular. Now, can you see where I cut any of that? Look at that. Look how stinking good that is. There you go. So that is that side. Let's go ahead and unload. Now I did do the B with the 2025 over here. It was going to take me a minute to weed that, and it actually may still take me a minute to weed this. So I'm just going to weed Carson's name here. This is the original one that I actually designed. Let me weed it out so that you all can see it. But because I want to honor your time as well as honor everyone else's, we did already pre-cut one of those, and you all saw it took me a minute to get that stuck down. So this was the design that I made in Design Space for the back of the ornament. Although I've already put the C, it worked out. Not a big deal. So you can do the last name with the date on the back, or you can do the first initial, really whatever you want. That is the beauty of this project, is we are just giving you the outline of the ornament. You can determine what you want on the inside. You don't even have to do a silhouette if you don't want to. It's completely up to you. You make it however you want.
Amazing.
Now, I am going to really quickly go through here and grab these little scallop pieces before we put this down on the surface of the ornament. Ugh.
Look at this weeding. Action fire weeding, y'all. So good.
It's
so
all
good.
It's all in the flick of the wrist with this.
Yes, amazing, amazing, amazing.
It's completely different when you are crafting for yourself without having to teach versus being in front of you all teaching.
We'll get ya. We'll get y'all caught up. But you got to use it.
Yeah.
Even if Lauren didn't.
Once again, it's one of those do as I say, not as I do, guys. Use your rubbing alcohol.
So good. So good.
I'm just going to make sure that this gets stuck down really well, but remember, we are okay if the vinyl isn't stuck to the ornament right now. We're just trying to get it away from this transfer tape, because we're going to come back in with our finger and we are going to lay this down and use our either X-Acto knife or our True Control knife, and we are going to make sure that all of these edges get laid down with our little hacky hack that I showed you a while ago. We'll go through the process again together so that you can see it in person again. And you can really get a good grasp on how to do it.
The layer is so good.
Okay.
And again, guys, if you claim your zip file of files, you'll get to be able to make this exact one with the ornament file and the font. So don't miss out on that.
Okay, so once again, I'm just going to lay this down. Now this one, I would suggest cutting in the middle of a scallop. You don't want to cut in this inside of a scallop. You really want to cut in between two of these scallops like this, and then lay it down together.
Yep. Oh my gosh, you could totally do a pet silhouette too. That would be so cute.
Oh yeah.
Yay.
Pet silhouette on these would be phenomenal.
Yes.
And there you go. You can't even tell that I cut it anywhere.
Lauren.
Show me where you think I cut it.
It looks perfect.
I mean, come on, guys. So after that, all that's left now, once again, we did not paint this on camera, but I feel like this is just, you all are so smart and can paint this yourself. Once again, if you want it to look exactly like this, we used the liquid leaf to get this result. We've also spray painted all of the tops of our ornaments before, and honestly, there's not that big of a difference. But after you have done that, you're gonna paint. If you want to paint that, you can. We're just going to pop that back in there like that. Then we are going to grab us some ribbon here. We're gonna roll some of it off. Whoa, I'm glad I have on red today.
Love.
This is getting everywhere. Getting everywhere. I like to start with a larger piece versus a smaller piece just to make sure I can get it to really hang where I want it to. So we're just going to place this through here. And then from there, you can create, we're gonna create a knot first. Like this. And then if you want to create a bow, you can, or you can leave it as is.
I love this ribbon.
I kind of like it as is, just hanging down, go to the front. I kind of like it just hanging down. It's actually a little bit longer than I wanted, but you can kind of adjust and move it accordingly, but that's it. I mean, look how cute and how easy. Honestly, it's a little bit, this looks harder than what it actually is.
Yeah.
This is not that hard. It is not that complicated. We've given you all of the files that you need to recreate this project.
Yes.
We've given you the inspiration. We've taught you how to do it. It's really just pulling those files in, putting in that name. Once again, the silhouette portion is going to be the hardest, especially if you are not used to erasing on your design space on that portion. It may be a little tricky at first. Don't get frustrated. Come back, try it again. If you want to do an automatic background remover, you can easily do that. Crop it down. So many ways that you can do this. But what do you guys think?
It's so fun. I mean, it's amazing, amazing now.